Okay, so for the last 4 days, from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, I've been working on a TCG trading card game and a tabletop game combined into one, designed for the Philippines market. Now what I mean by that is that it's easy to play based on all the AIs I've been plugging it into. Somewhere between kindergarten and third grade should be able to comprehend exactly what's going on. It doesn't utilize a dice, it utilizes a simple card flipping technique to basically do anything, right? Heads or tails. Every card has only hearts, right? There is no percentages. It simply goes either half a heart or a whole heart. Only a few characters have half hearts so far, but I have set up an expansion pack which should have another 180 monsters added and several boss monsters. The way I have it set up is that you have two sides of a map. You have placeholders, you have a space for your cards, you've got 9 essentially spots for you to take control of. You cannot place a monster in the each side singular heal spot for the starter map. Later there could be expansion maps which would have different rules, different preset whatevers. There is a spot in the middle. This is where you would put your obstacles and or terrain spots, which would add to the tactical and strategy side to the game itself. You start by selecting your cards. It's anywhere from 1 to 5 versus 5. Each card comes with its stats. There will eventually be art, which I've already made the art, and a corresponding temporary Dobby. Eventually a 3D printed model with interchangeable parts would be the ideal end result, where on the back of the card you would have the information for each of the parts you could take off of the three-dimensional model and create a super monster, which would then create a replay value, and both people would try to essentially OP and break the game, which would create a lot of just complete nonsense. A terrain card, right, would be placed in the middle, and for demonstration I will talk about how those can change throughout the game. There's also minion monsters, which do not count as part of your 1 or 5 set of original monsters, but the minion monster would be played either in a 2v2, you'd get 1, a 3v3 to 3v4, you'd get 2, and a 5 versus 5, you would get 3 minions per team, as agreed upon before the match begins. So what would happen in a normal match? If you had more than one map, which will eventually happen later, you would agree on which map you're going to use depending on who owns the map. Then you would select your how many cards you would have in a match, how many monsters. 1 through 5. Not everybody would have 5 monsters if it's, going to cost you some pesos to gain a monster. Then you would see how many terrain cards you had. You would take turns placing terrain cards after you've agreed on your monsters on the board until it's full, or maybe you only want 1 or 2 terrain. But you would come to an agreement on that. Then you would make an agreement on whether or not you had minions. You'd play the game, so you would place a monster, then you would end your first turn. Your opponent would place a monster and their first turn. The next turn, you would move your singular monster. You would choose to attack. If you're able to attack, you'd interact with the terrain. If you manage to reach terrain within the first turn, then you would go to the place phase where you'd place your next monster, and then your turn would end. The next player would move, place a second monster, so on and so forth. This would also include minion monsters. If you choose to have 5 monsters and 3 minions, the minion would be placed exactly like the monster in its own separate phase, and you would go from there. Alright, Okay, now we're going to talk about terrain. So we have a tree. I don't know if you can read that. tree, right? Simple terrain. It is an earth terrain. The character, Shadow Guitar, can climb objects, right? Not all characters can climb objects, but something like the hulking shape, the Shadow Guitar's friend in the game, because I've set up incredible amounts of lore for all of this, and they all interact with each other in some way in a separate book, can move an object. So, if he were to climb a tree, making him unable to be attacked by melee attacks, and the hulking shape were to move the tree, you'd now have a tree that would block melee attacks and ranged attacks to the hulking shape, and Shadow Guitar could only be targeted with ranged attacks. But that doesn't mean that, like the Master of Pain, who has +1 move and can knock an opponent off of a terrain, could counter that. Then Master of Pain and the Princess both have fire ability, so they could turn the tree from terrain number 1 into terrain 19, where the tree is now on fire and now damages Shadow Guitar. I created one minion monster, which will not be used in an example playthrough, but this is a water monster, right? So the water monster would turn the tree now into like a large stick. It would mess up the ground beneath it, the tree would fall over, you'd now have just a large log on the ground, which the right monster, I guess any monster, could pick up and use as a temporary weapon, which would remove the obstacle from the game. You cannot place obstacles until after the game is started, unless your card/monster explains that you can do that. Certain objects cannot be moved except for by a character I called Blue, who has divine powers to move any object ever, which includes like a giant metal pillar, which is unmovable, but because of his card he can. There's all kinds of crazy mix and match abilities when and if we ever get the 3D models. But so far I'm at 72 monsters, all with base stats, which include minion monsters, 2 per hero, or 1 per hero, 1 per villain, all set up to create like play sets, which would be sold at a slightly higher price. But it would essentially be, you would have a blind bag of hero, villain, foe, friend, a blind bag of obstacles and minions, and then you would eventually have the boss monsters, which I've only created 1, the brick house, which would count as 2 monsters in a normal match. I have also set up rules to where a third player who doesn't have enough monsters to actually play can act as an friend or foe kind of thing. He also can be a merchant, and he may have the ability to add or remove obstacles throughout the game in order to make it a little more interesting. So, for now, that's the basic introduction of mini monster mashers. Yeah, tell me what you think.